Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we welcome you back to the GospelStation.com Sports and Talk. It's time once again for the Bethany High School Broncos Coaches Show. This time more of a coaches show than we've had in the past, maybe. This is Luke Young sitting down with head coach of women's basketball, Eric Saylor. John can't make it today. He's out at the dusk meet for track and field supporting his son. So, John, we miss you, but we're wishing Isaac great luck at the track meet. Sounds like he's doing well already. We're live at Victory Mattress Outlet, 7101 Northwest Expressway in Suite 610 for Victory Mattress Outlet. And I was saying off camera, off mic, maybe our most consistent sponsor we've ever worked with. We love coming out here. They're the best. They put up with us for so long. We always keep them late. But again, call 405-510-6988 for Victory Mattress Outlet. Again, some of the best people around, locally owned, family owned thing, and they treat you right here when you come by and do business. We've got some food today. It was once again provided by Taco Bueno right across the road, 7104 Northwest Expressway. They're under new management. We got to give a big thanks to Jermaine for his support of this one as well. Every time the kids came by, they tore into that Taco Bueno, right? All the students love getting Taco Bueno. And that's maybe the best point in their favor possible, if we're being honest. So you'll love it too. Stop by Taco Bueno, and right across the road is Victory Mattress Outlet. But, Coach, it's been maybe a busy day regardless. I mean, the season is technically over, but it sounds like you've had no less work come your way as the head coach. Just tell us what the day's been like for you.
Well, you just at end of the year, you reflect on what the season was like, and then of course you have to do all the duties of making sure they check in all their gear, the uniforms, the travel gear, the backpacks, that type of thing. And then it's always hard to say goodbye to the seniors. And this senior group has been a special group for us at Bethany. Um, their record is 100 wins and 17 losses over the 4-year span, which is the best that's ever went through Bethany for 4 years. And so it's a 85, 86% winning percentage, which is pretty impressive. And you know, they've been a part of this program for 4 years, and they've had their fingerprints on this program. And so it's always hard to say goodbye to those girls because they've had good days and bad days just like everybody else, and but they've stuck with it. And when you stick with something for 4 years in high school, that means that you're dedicated to it. And so it's always hard to say goodbye to those girls.
117. I don't know
Yeah,
if I've ever heard of that in
yeah.
a high school career. That is
Well,
nuts.
they've have really done a good job, and I was just so proud of them. Um, the out of those 17 losses, of course, the hardest one is always the last one.
Mm.
And, that kind of put the stamp on the season. And, you know, we were disappointed that it happened. But you got to reflect back, you know, from day one when they were incoming freshmen and how far they progressed. And just super proud of them, because, just like any high school student, they're going to have ups and downs. They're going to have good days and bad days, and there are going to be some days they come into the gym and they don't want to be there, or they want to try to quit. And as a coaching staff, you got to realize these are the kids that you need to keep out. You have to bend over backwards to make sure that you're doing the right thing as a coaching staff to keep them a part of the program. And we had to do that a couple of times, and but at the very end, we were so glad and so fortunate that the four of them decided to stick it out.
Now, tell me again how many seniors it is.
Four,
It is four.
yeah, it's Madison Bibbs, Reese Harris, McKenna Calderon, and Madison McNutt.
Gotcha. For some reason, I had in my mind six, but that makes sense.
Yeah,
Four of them.
just four this year.
Really a core group right there. All of them
Yeah,
starters, obviously. All of them playing big minutes, having a big impact.
yeah, and here's the deal. It just didn't start when they were freshmen, but it started when they were in fourth grade. In fifth grade when we would do open gym and purple power for them, and they would come and I'd watch them compete against each other. I'd watch them compete against their moms, and so the relationships were built early on with this core group, and they all stuck with it, and they're all multi sports athletes. Reese does soccer, and you know she sure could have not played basketball this year, but she's doing soccer and basketball, and you have Madison Bibbs who does softball, basketball, and track, and you have Madison McNutt who's cross country and basketball, and then McKenna Calderon basketball and golf, and so at Bethany it's a special place. We have to share our athletes, and if you don't, then you're going to have an issue with numbers. And we were proud of this year because this year we had the most girls involved in our varsity girls basketball program than we've ever had before in 9 years. And so we were excited about the numbers growing, and that always adds a lot of culture and a
Yep.
lot of special moments to the group because they all bring something positive to the team, and lots of laughter and lots of good memories.
Right, and we've talked about that before, but being able to be part of the Bethany public school system from such a young age up to high school is maybe the biggest advantage the team has.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. The relationships that they built over the years, are special, and they'll continue after high school. And my kids, four of the five of my kids have either are going through or have been through Bethany, and they always keep up with those high school friends. Those are some of their closest relationships that they have to this day. Were cultured there at Bethany.
So, could you give me a moment you remember that really sticks out to you with a couple of those seniors, where it's like, okay, this is a leader I have in front of me?
Yeah, uh, you got to look at them, and you look at McKenna Calderon. McKenna, w- and we've talked about this openly with her, and she was one of those ones that her sophomore year and her junior year she came in and said that she wasn't going to play, and we took 30, 45 minutes of practice just trying to convince her, you know, we want you to stick it out. We see value in you. We think that you're headed in the right direction. You just got to keep working, and so to know that, and then as a junior, it wasn't all rainbows and puppy dogs for her. It was hard, and she wasn't seeing the progression she thought, um, time wise. Um, she was struggling scoring the ball. Didn't understand the concept about having to be a stat stuffer.
Hmm.
Making assists, get a rebound.
Right.
Those types of things. And then this year, I think she really it clicked with her, and a couple of times she led us in scoring. And then when you start to see someone who's not a rebounder start to pull down 4 or 5 rebounds in a game, you know you're like, okay, she was listening. She's learning how to impact the game, even though she might not be scoring the ball at the time. So that would be McKenna. Um, you know, Madison Bibbs. She always talks about. She sometimes she feels like she's a role player, and I think she's more than a role player for us. And she does things offensively, and she impacts the game defensively for us. Of course, she's one of our best defenders. She's athletic. She's long. Being able to go out and guard, the other team's best player and be able to do it efficiently is something that Madison Bibbs gave to our program. And I don't know how many huge rebounds she pulled down for us. Even at a free throw line, when we're shooting a free throw and then we might miss it, she does this little spin move, gets around her girl, pulls a rebound, goes back up and scores and gets fouled. Those are momentum changing plays. And there's a handful of games where we would have lost last year and this year if it wasn't for her effort. And so, that's her impact in the games. And then Reese Harris, you could talk all night about Reese Harris, and she's been through a lot of adversity in her life, and two torn ACLs, and you have some girls or some boys even, they might be injured one time and they're done, and but she kept fighting, came back hard, kept getting stronger. She tore ACL last year again, and then so in the back of my mind, like, is she going to stay with it? Is she going to stay with it? And I wanted her to because I knew that she could be an impact player for us, and definitely she did. and was huge in Friday's game versus Verdigris.
Verdigris.
I think she had 4 threes, I believe it was.
I have her at 4 of 6.
Yeah, and just shot lights out. And I can remember calling a timeout after she hit a huge three for us. And, went to give her a high five, and I don't think I let go of her hand because I was just so excited for her, that, she was out there, be able to be out there on the floor and do those types of things and have those memories for the rest of her life, is pretty special. And then Madison Manette, you look at her just, being solid, she was always that ball handler that we needed. She was always the one that we could count on to organize us offensively. Her voice was heard in practices. Her voice was heard in games. Just talking defensive strategies, those types of things. So, you could just really count on Madison McNutt to give that high effort 100% of the time. And honestly, I don't know if she came out of the game on. I guess she came out of the game just for just a brief moment on Saturday, but it wasn't very long because we needed her presence out there on the floor.
It's very difficult to take a player like that out of a game.
Yeah. So we'll definitely miss her.
One thing I remember that stuck out to me about her is after that, I think it was the Grove game where I caught both her and her sister for an interview. One of the first things she said when I asked her what's going on the rest of the night, she says, I'm going to get some food, I'm going to get some sleep, but before that I'm going to watch film.
Yeah.
She was always in that mindset of what's coming next. How do I improve?
Yeah, we preach to the girls that they got to watch film. You have to watch film because you can learn from your mistakes. You can learn from the other team, watching the strategies that they try to do during games. And on Huddle, I can go and I can see who's watching film, how many minutes they're watching. And sometimes I think Madison McNutt might have watched more film than I had, which is pretty impressive because, almost every night we're watching film on somebody trying to prepare ahead of time even. So, yeah, her dedication to the game, and she's a constant learner. And so I think that's going to help her in the future for sure.
Yeah, I've enjoyed being able to watch these. I feel so honored to have watched this group for my first time out here even. And as Coach said, a lot of them are multi-sport athletes. I mean, maybe some people out there don't realize the toll that takes on a player, physically, mentally, all of it. I mean, it is a special thing that these girls are able to do.
Well, especially the game of basketball, because the game of basketball is the longest season of them all. And when, they might be a dual sport athlete and they're playing softball, well, then all their other friends that play softball just play softball. So they're off until, the middle of October, until May. And they're hanging out, doing things, they might be throwing the softball around or practicing softball drills or things like that. Whereas these other girls are in practice, or on the bus going to games or shoot-arounds on Sundays and that type of thing. So it does take a toll, and it takes a dedicated person to be able to want to do that.
It did seem like they enjoyed the bus rides, maybe more than I enjoyed my bus rides back in high school.
Yes, and I'm no dummy. I understand that, especially in the girls' game, that if your friends are playing, then you're going to want to play. And so I always knew that we had to set up special moments for them, just to make sure that their friends are still engaged and they still feel these relationships are important to them, and they bring a big old speaker on the bus and they'll start singing songs, and we always make a joke, in practice. You can remember any song that comes on the radio, but you can't remember some of the plays that we run, and so at the end of practice the other day, Coach Colson was like, all right, we're going to put a song together to remember this play, and so he was just joking with them, but yeah, those bus rides are important, and sometimes they decide to ride home with their parents, and they're at the end of the season, they start realizing, hey, we're short timers here. We only have a handful of opportunities to build these memories, and so the other night, Friday night and Saturday night, almost everyone was on the bus, and so that tells me that they're bonding and they're going to want to remember these times.
That maybe you guys have done your jobs as coaches,
right?
right?
Right.
Yes, sir. Hey, we've already come up on our first break. That was a very quick first segment, I got to be honest. But when we come back from segment number 2, we've got a special interview we're going to play real quick. And I've got actually a question from John, who couldn't be here today, so stick around for that. We're live at Victory Mattress Outlet with the Bethany High School Basketball Coaches Show. Coach Eric Saylor on with us today, 7101 Northwest Expressway in Suite 610. They're open 12 to 5 on Sunday and 11 to 6 Monday through Saturday. You can also go to victorymattressoutlet.com and browse the selection there. Everything from beds to furniture to pillows to headboards. I mean, they carry it all in here. And, of course, Taco Bueno supplied the food. We got the whole lot of box, half and half, a little bit of tacos, a little bit of Doritos, a little bit of the chips in between, and everybody loves it whenever we bring it out to these shows. So you will too. Thanks to Victory Mattress Outlet, and we will be back in just a few minutes with segment number 2. Say aloha to your new favorite shaved ice and coffee shop, Aloha Shaved Ice, on the corner of Northwest 39th Expressway and Council. Aloha brings the summer vibes no matter what the weather looks like outside. Their year-round shaved ice means you get to enjoy classic flavors like grape, strawberry, and cotton candy, while their extensive selection of coffee complements that chill flavor perfectly. Looking for something different? Aloha has specialty drinks for days. Try the Banana Split, Fuzzy Monkey, Spider-Man, or Shrek. And trust us when we say that's only a small part of their specialty lineup. Sharp-eyed visitors may also notice Aloha's local support and drinks like the Bethany Broncos, SNU Crimson Storm, SCU Eagles, and Boomer Sooner. You can enjoy games like chess or Candyland while you dine in the cozy atmosphere, or sit outside and find yourself whisked away to the shore. Kick back with all your friends at Aloha, 8000 Northwest 39th Expressway. Call 405-633-7778, and remember that you can take that sunshine with you thanks to their drive-thru lane. Aloha Shaved Ice and Coffee Shop, 8000 Northwest 39th Expressway. 405-633-7778. This is Blake Nightingale State Farm, your local insurance agent over at 7304 Northwest Expressway. Here to tell you more about the business is Blake himself.
Hi, my name is Blake Nightingale, State Farm insurance agent located at 7304 Northwest Expressway here in Oklahoma City. I've been a State Farm agent since 2018. We've got 5 licensed staff members here, and we do everything from auto, home, life insurance, and health insurance. And we're real passionate about helping people. And we love youth sports, and we sponsor a lot of local teams here. And so, like I always tell people, like a good neighbor, we're here to help you.
Just like you heard from Blake, Blake Nightingale State Farm is here to help you protect what's important to you, because your car and home aren't just things. They're where you make your memories. Visit Blake and his friendly staff at 7304 Northwest Expressway and call them at 405-728-1313. Like a good neighbor, Blake Nightingale is there. Do it best at Evans Hardware. Since 1965, Evans Hardware has provided Midwest City with top-quality home improvement supplies and a one-of-a-kind shopping experience. At 1021 South Douglas Boulevard, Evans Hardware is family-owned and has the right products for every situation, including DIY projects, professional contracting, or quick fixes. Their satisfaction guarantee and quick turnarounds mean you'll always find what you need. So visit Evans Hardware in Midwest City, or call 405-732-1898. That's 405-732-1898. Evans Hardware in Midwest City. And we welcome you back here to the Bethany Broncos Coaches Show, live on the GospelStation.com Sports and Talk. We are on Facebook and the audio-only version on Live 365. No matter where you're tuning in from, we want to thank you. Your support always means the world to us. Coach Eric Saylor sitting down for this one. I believe we've got you for just 15 more minutes, one more segment, then you're going to get out of here. But first, we're at Victory Mattress Outlet, 7101 Northwest Expressway, as we've said a couple of times. But get this, at Victory Mattress Outlet, you're the winner. You never pay retail price on top brands ever again. You get to keep that money under your mattress and sleep like a champ. They've got options for every budget, the quality 10-inch budget beds, perfect for kids, to high-end hand-built luxury stuff that lasts for years. And you can come through the store right here in the Rockwell Shopping Center and browse all of it. Super friendly people, locally owned and operated, one of our favorite businesses to go to. And Taco Bueno, right across the road, who supplied the food, is also having a big impact in the community. Tacos with a purpose. Round up your order, and every cent goes to Palomar and the Family Place to help victims of domestic violence. It's a great promotion they're doing right across the road. You can get in on it. They raised over $500,000 in their first year, and it's going, again, towards a great cause, something you're going to want to be a part of. So thanks to both Victory Mattress Outlet and Taco Bueno for their support of the Coaches Show. Coaches, we bring this second segment to you here. The people might have noticed on the screen in the background, we got an interview we're going to play, and it's with 2 Bethany alums. So let's go ahead and kick it to that one, Kate Donnelly and Keziah Lofton.
Listen, what a joy and privilege it is to have two great alumni of Bethany. We've got Caton Donnelly here. We've got Keziah Lofton. Thank you all so much for taking the time to join us. I want to get to kind of some of the personal stuff. Before we do that, our girls lost a tough one, a chance to go to state. You guys have had a couple state championships, but last year you were on the losing end of not achieving the ultimate goal. So how do you kind of put it in perspective and maybe what's some, you've got a sister playing, you still know a lot of the girls on the team. What is something that you could kind of say to them to keep their spirits up even though they didn't get all the way to state? Let's go with Keziah first.
I just say they should be proud of how far they came in general. It's part of the game. Losing's a part of the game, and it happens. So just being proud of their performance no matter what, and I'm proud of them. So it was great to see them.
That's awesome. Caton, it's very personal to you. You've got your sister Cameron in. I know she was heartbroken. Any encouragement you could give to her and the Lady Broncos?
Yeah, I think just come back stronger next year. Use this loss as a fuel to help fire them up for next season. And like I told her after, I was like, we got to get in the gym this summer. We got to get it ready for next year.
That's right. Caton, we'll stay with you. You're playing at ORU starting this year?
I am.
Playing really good. Tell us about your season thus far.
It's been really good. We're at 500 right now. We find out Monday if we go to postseason tournament. But, yeah, it's been really fun. It's been great. I love the team, love the coaches.
You're doing so good. Keziah, OU's having a standout year. Tough loss in the SEC tournament to LSU, but high hopes in the postseason. How's this season been for you with the transition from high school to college?
It's been really good so far. It's definitely way different than high school, but I've learned a lot, and I feel like I've grown a lot as a player. So it's been nice to get back out on the court. After my senior year, I didn't really get to play, so it's been nice to be back out there.
Yes. Hey, y'all are special. Thank y'all so much for joining us. We've missed you this season, but y'all done fantastic. Great to see y'all do bigger and better things. Best of luck moving forward.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, y'all. How nice of them to spend time with us, Luke. Really, really cool.
Well, Coach, how special it is that alumni like that come back for the playoffs and support the girls. What is it? How is it to you to see players like that still come back and support and know that you've still got the support of past players?
Yeah, those two right there are super special, and they'll always be. They've been around Bethany for a long time, and they bleed that purple, and they understand the importance of relationships, and they understand the importance of coming back and seeing the girls and staying connected. Both those girls right there, I guarantee it, any coach would want to have them on the floor and be a part of their program because they're impact players. But yeah, even though we didn't come up with a W on Saturday, coming out of the locker room and going and sitting in the stands and then having them come up to you and, give you a hug around your neck and just start talking to you about listening to their stories, asking questions about them. But then they're always like, man, we miss high school. We miss our team, So that tells us, as a coaching staff, we've done the right things. We're doing the right things in our program. We want to continue to build those relationships and continue to grow those girls. And it's they're a special group. Their heart is bigger than their body. Is bigger than their basketball skill because they found a way to impact the community around them, not just on the basketball court, but around the entire community. And so, love both those girls to death. And we speak highly of them because they're representing Bethany girls basketball across the nation right now, and so super excited for them.
Right, I love what Caton said. Got to get back in the gym this summer. Got to keep improving.
Both those girls, they're not afraid to work, and they're constantly gym rats. They're out there trying to improve their game and get better. You look at Avery Martineau. Avery's another one that is improving her game. She's at Seward County up in Kansas, and she's getting ready to either go to a small D1 because she's playing so well. But it's that hard work that she's put in. You look at Zaya Van, and Zaya's, starting for OU, and, she's a Bethany Bronco. And so just super excited for all those girls who are making an impact at that next level. Lauren Scalisi, I got to go to her final college game here just a week or two ago, and she's a Bethany alum. And so just watching her out there perform and doing what she loves, those are exciting times. Those are exciting times for a coach especially.
Yeah, you instill that in them, right? That love for the gym.
Right, yeah.
Absolutely, for sure. Well, actually, John, he couldn't be here with us, but he had a question for you. It's a little bit in the change in tone, maybe, but he wants to know, across all the different schools you played with, the different groups, has the role of being a head coach or just a coach in general changed throughout?
I think the role of being a head coach, it's always changing because you always have something new coming down the turnpike, coming at you. When I first started coaching, we had no idea what social media was, and then all of a sudden it hit, and you got girls and high school boys that are making bad decisions in social media or whatever, and so that's something that we had to kind of put our focus in on, making sure that you're making right choices. As soon as you hit send, that's going to be out there somewhere for somebody to see when you're 30 years old and you're trying to interview for a job or whatever. And so, there's a lot of things that go on in our society today that, is ever going to change how we coach. Just the game alone, I can remember meeting high school coaches, at a dark gas station because we're trying to get a VCR tape from somebody else to watching them play, and so we would meet in a gas station and just hand off the VCR tape. Well, that's gone.
Yeah.
That's changed. Everything's just a click of the mouse right now, but it's constantly changing, constantly evolving, and if you're not keeping up with it, it's going to pass you up. And so, we always got to stay on grades. Especially that second semester, going from the end of the first semester to the second semester. If a teacher gives like a test that first week or so, and they don't do very well on it, or maybe they were absent because they were at a tournament, then they get behind the 8 ball and it starts to be a problem. So we kind of have to keep our thumb on their grades, making sure they're turning everything in, and just remind them, hey, you need probably go in and get some help in math or whatever from Miss Tackett. And so that's something constantly that we have to do as a coaching staff as well, and just continue to remind them, that they represent Bethany. When we go out to places or go on tournaments and we're staying in a hotel, we want to make sure that we're being good role models for the community of Bethany so people can see that.
Right, and you even mentioned that with the alumni. Still, you said they are still representing the Broncos.
Yes, definitely.
What they stand for, it just goes to show how important these years are.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
John wanted to ask, would you say the majority of changes are for the good or for the bad? But that's kind of a, you don't have to answer that question if you don't want to.
Yeah, well.
No offense, John.
There's always going to be adversity, and you, as a staff, you just gotta have to figure out how you're going to make it through some hard times, and move on. And being at Bethany as long as I have for 9 years, eventually there's some things that are going to be there that are just kind of lingering, and we just got to continue to put our head down and fight through it, and it'll solve itself eventually. But there's always positives and negatives about how things change, and it's just it's an ever-changing field. There's always something new that you have to try to avoid. And then you're not just coaching the kids, you're coaching the parents as well. And so that can add, a little extra on your plate at times too.
Yeah, I believe that. Trust, I come from a family of coaches. I believe that.
Yeah.
Well, I think my last question to you, and then we'll let you get out of here, is you've played in a lot of great places over the years and a lot of big games. This season, was Route 66 Coliseum your favorite arena to play in, your favorite environment, or do you have another pick?
Going back and talking about, some of our favorite places to play, that first year that we won the state tournament, our second game that we played was versus Tuttle and in the playoffs at state. And earlier in the year, that was our one loss. Tuttle came to our place and upset us. And, our girls, we talked about revenge. We were playing at Yukon High School. We didn't know if, our community would come out and support us since we were kind of new to the state playoffs. But just to see that gym, because Yukon, I coached there for several years, but just to see, I've never seen that gym packed like it was. And you could just see the pride in the community of Bethany coming out, and, fighting against the almighty Tuttle, that's always been successful. And to know that, we beat them, and that game was just, amazing. The fans were right on top of you, and they're so excited. Our girls were so pumped. And so that was probably the best atmosphere that we've played in at Bethany. But this year, you look at the Verdigris game, that game that we had on Friday. We come off playing Thursday, and we didn't have the best game, and kind of really got fortunate that we were able to pull out that win versus Grove. So we kind of were leery about, which team was going to show up. And when we started hitting those perimeter shots, and just seeing the juice flow and just, knowing that, we got this. And so that was pretty exciting times for us. And our girls, I know afterwards they really celebrated hard and thought that was a special win.
Apparently they flooded the locker room from what I heard. Yeah.
Yes, they did.
They partied hard. They're good at that. Well, Coach, it's about time that we wrap up this segment. Before we go, is there anything you want to say to the people watching?
No, just thanks for coming out and supporting us, and just being there to support these girls. They make an impact in Bethany, and you guys make an impact as well. And so just love what we do, and, hope to see these girls progress on past high school and do amazing things.
Yes, sir. Hey, we're going to break here. We've still got half an hour of the show left. We got a new guest coming on, a brand new face of the Gospel Station Sports and Talk, so we hope you'll stick around. But, Coach, it's been a joy and an honor. I'm happy to have worked with you this year.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much. And thanks to Victory Mattress Outlet and Taco Bueno for their support of the show. We couldn't do these. We couldn't have these great moments without the support of our local businesses. So shop local, support local. It's the best environment with the best people. As we were just talking about environments, it's the best one around. So thanks to Victory Mattress and Taco Bueno. We're back after this break.
We are Integrity Heating, Air, and Plumbing, in business for over 40 years. We provide a top-notch service for every company and residential home in the area. Let's take a look inside and let you meet some people.
Hey, Blaine. Good morning. Here we have a part of our call center. This is Tina. That's Gabby. That's our general manager, BJ. Our office hours are from 7:30 to 7:30, Monday through Friday. And we do heating and air conditioning, plumbing and electrical. Give us a call. We always have specials. Our number one priority is your family, constant comfort and convenience. We offer 24-hour service.
And in order for us to do that, we fully stock everything here at our warehouse. Whether it's commercial or residential, we offer plumbing, heating and air, and electrical full services. All of our guys are licensed, we're bonded and insured.
Here at Integrity, we offer senior discounts, military discounts, and public service discounts.
You worked hard for us, so let us work hard for you.
Yeah, go Broncos.
C&J Sporting Goods at 6604 Northwest 38th Street has been serving Bethany and the Metro for over 30 years, with 3 generations ready to serve you with the best shopping experience of product knowledge and customer service anywhere, with a wide selection of guns, ammo, ear and eye protection, law enforcement equipment, hunting, camping, and survival gear. If they don't have it, they will order it for you. Veteran owned and family operated. Call 405-789-8102. C&J Sporting Goods. At the home of the Gotta Have It, you'll find Apple Tree Antique Gallery, located in the heart of downtown Bethany at 6740 Northwest 39th Expressway. Enjoy spacious shopping with up to 77 unique vendors across more than 10,000 square feet, offering everything from jewelry and clothing to one-of-a-kind treasures and so much more. Don't miss our third Friday weekend specials every month. And yes, we're open Sundays. Call us at 495-0602. Apple Tree Antique Gallery in Bethany, home of the Gotta Have It.
Tanko Mechanical, Electrical, and Plumbing is a commercial and industrial contractor. They offer end-to-end client experience that includes seamless communication, budgeting, staffing, on-site organization, and it's solid quality handiwork every time. The past projects include both new construction and repairs and restoration. Occupied and fully operational job sites are never a problem. They can also plan, manage, and build multi-phase jobs. We are a turnkey plumbing, electrical, HVAC, and mechanical contractor. Tanko Company Give them a call at 405-255-7804. Again, that's 405-255-7804. Tanko.
And we are back here on the gospelstation.com. Sports and Talk, a new face sitting down in front of the camera for this one. This is Mr. Blake Vance, who's joining us on the station. Blake, thank you for doing this.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it.
We're going to introduce him more in a second, but first, Victory Mattress Outlet, a little bit more about the place we're at. I mentioned the phone number to call is 405-510-6988, and that they're open 11 to 6 Monday through Saturday and 12 to 5 on Sunday. But they're also realtors, and they help move you into your new house. So you're not just coming by here to pick out a mattress, then you got to lug it all the way yourself. They'll actually help you move it, help set up, and do the whole process with you. And that is the difference that Victory Mattress Outlet has over those big box, chain stores that are completely impersonal and don't have anything else to do with you after the sale. That's the difference between Victory Mattress Outlet and those guys. And the same difference actually kind of applies to Taco Bueno right across the road. They've got a bunch of different promotions going on as well. They're the official taco of the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they give you actually the souvenir cups and a free taco every time the Thunder play. I don't think it's when, I think it's every time the Thunder play. So don't quote me on that, but definitely go by and ask. Taco Bueno, 7104 Northwest Expressway, another proud supporter of Bethany High Athletics and thegospelstation.com.
Might need to run over there because Thunder are playing tonight, right?
Yeah, against the Nuggets, I think. It's a good one. But, all right, so, Blake, you're sitting down here for the first time. What do you think about that first half of the show real quick?
I was really thrilled to get a chance to listen to what Coach had to say. It's really – I really love whenever coaches have passions for their players, especially someone like that. He can kind of walk you through each individual, and that's kind of what a coach's job is to kind of manage personalities almost.
Yeah.
So one girl's is going to be different from the next. I've got 7 siblings, so I kind of understand managing personalities, and I was really it made me really happy to know that there are still coaches out there that really care about their players.
I mean, he went through every senior, gave you a lengthy story about them that he just pulls from memory.
The one about Madison Bibbs, I think her name was.
Yeah, he knows his players that well. He does have that much care for them. It's an inspiration.
It is.
And that is maybe the staple, right? Mm-hmm. The theme of Bethany is that all their coaches care about their players like that. You get the same thing if it was men's basketball and Coach Holiday on the show. You'd get the same thing in the past where you had softball or volleyball or even like Palm came on the show. They all have those moments they can pull, those memories they all cherish. It is something special. Now, you've done a lot of different sports. You've actually had a little bit of experience doing
I've done a few,
this.
yeah.
What school were you at before?
I was at UConn High School.
UConn and UCO for college, correct?
UCO for I went to OSU first, and then I got put on the whatever the complete opposite of the dean's list is. Because I did not take school very seriously, and then ended up going to Redlands for a little bit, and then I wound up at UCO. So,
how was the transition from each place? Because that's OSU to Redlands to UCO.
Well, so my dad, he told me that OSU had like a direct sports media program, that's what I wanted to do since I was 10 years old. So as soon as I found out that this was a job, I was like, that's what I want to do with my life. And so OSU had a direct sports media program. I went there for a little bit, and then, got to the party scene probably a little too hard. And then, grades tanked and all that good stuff. And then, my classes were huge. So I went from that to Redlands, which that was a complete 180. Because, I go from, big class to, there's, 12 of us in there, basically.
Yeah, Redlands is not a big place.
Yeah, it's not. And so I loved it there, and I only went there for 2 semesters because basically what my dad said was either you can go work full-time or we could do school and work, but you're going to do something. So I was like, all right, I'll go to school, and I couldn't care less about school. But after that, I went to UCO because I got we found the crane to bring my grades up, and I ended up there, and I wouldn't change any part of it, honestly, because UCO was the perfect size for me and perfect class sizes. You had, 20, maybe 20 kids in the whole classroom, so it was a lot of one-on-one time with prof and all that good stuff. So, yeah, shout out to UCO for teaching me a little something.
No, for the longest time I thought they were still the Broncos, like Denver is spelled.
Oh,
Turns
yeah.
out they're still the Broncos.
It's rolled
like
shows
Bethany
all day.
is spelled. I had in softball. I said something about Madison Bibbs, who is going on to play at UCO.
Nice.
And I said, "Yeah, you're going to continue being a Bronco. Just remove the H," not knowing that there's still an H in the UCO Broncos.
Yeah.
And now I look back on that, and why did I not check that? But it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's always rolled shows with me.
Yeah. You don't have to go check for that video, by the way, for everybody watching. So tell me, you wanted to do this a long time, but you've been in a couple different schools. What was it about Bethany that drew you to this place?
Well, I mean, I grew up right down the street. So I'm from Yukon. Well, technically from like OKC area, but my dad moved to Yukon whenever I was like in second grade. I was like, I want to be with Dad, whatever. So I go to this little community called Miller's Gate, and we lived there till I was about a sophomore in high school. Whenever we moved to Piedmont, but it was right next door, and I'd go there all the time, like to the YMCA and all that good stuff. And I actually went to basketball camp and baseball camp at SNU, so I have a certain love for SNU. Nice. And it was just a good time because so at SNU, just a quick sidebar, at the basketball camp there were these basketballs that they had, and they had like a bunch of 3-pointer, spin move, all this other stuff. So what we would do is we would like toss the ball up, spin it, and then whatever it landed on, once it landed back in our hands, that's what we had to do. So it was like spin move between the legs, whatever it was. I still probably had the basketball somewhere, but like I love basketball camp there, and it was just a really good time. So I've got a certain love for like the Yukon Bethany area, a little bit of El Reno too.
Clearly, I mean, that shines through, even just you talking about it right here. It's a lot of people from around here seem to really, really like Southern Asbury.
I love it there. I was actually there the day, like they cleared out the gym, obviously, but and I couldn't stand the dude, but I was there whenever Kobe Bryant was there. So he's got that video of him teaching some moves to like SNU players. Yeah. So I was actually there that day.
Wow. Yeah, I can't stand Lakers either, but wow. That is something. Hey, we've got some high school sports coming up later this week. Obviously,
Absolutely.
Basketball's at state tomorrow for the boys' side, and then we've got the doubleheader for baseball. I think you're going to make it out for that Wednesday one. Can we expect you on the air?
I'm planning on it.
All right, good deal. So if you're looking to hear Blake on the call for the first time, that Wednesday doubleheader will be a good one. And we're going to try to bring Rylan Ortiz back out as well, the Bethany student. Have a little three-man crew going.
Oh, there we go.
Should be a great time. We invite everybody to tune in. We're going to break here. When we come back, we've got 2 more interviews we're going to play, and then we're going to kind of preview what's going on at state tomorrow, so stick around. Again, we're at Victory Mattress Outlet. Victory Mattress Outlet is a small family business. They love helping people. They sell mattresses, bases, box frames, pillows. I got a giant list, protectors, furniture, bedroom sets, RV, custom sizes, and they also do the delivery, assembly, and setup services, flexible payment options, the whole shebang. It's all here at Victory Mattress Outlet. And our dinner tonight was Taco Bueno. We got the whole lot of box, a whole lot of goodness inside. That's Taco Town right at 7104 Northwest Expressway. For Taco Bueno, you're going to want to call 405-721-3936. That's 405-721-3936. Let's go to one more break. When we come back, our final segment.
John Campbell is your local health market agent that specializes in Medicare. Instead of talking through an 800 number, talk face-to-face with your local agent, John Campbell, to answer all your questions and find the company that best fits your needs. John Campbell Health Market serves Yukon, Bethany, and the surrounding area and will travel across the state of Oklahoma to meet with you. Call John Campbell Health Markets at 405-200-8414. Call 405-200-8414. Grandview Windows and Doors is a proud sponsor of the Bethany Broncos and a part of the community serving all of Oklahoma City area with a mission to provide our customers exceptional window and door solutions. Locally owned and operated, Grandview Windows and Doors is your window and door specialist. Drop on by our showroom to get the latest colors, styles, and special pricing just in time for the fall. Call 405-787-0230 and visit us on Facebook, Grandview Windows and Doors.
Stan's Plumbing is your locally owned, full-service, licensed, and bonded plumbing company, proudly serving the Oklahoma City Metro for over 30 years. Stan's provides all types of plumbing services like faucet and toilet repairs, sewer repair, and trenchless pipe replacement, water heater repair and installation, both tank and tankless, plus drain cleaning and jetting. All plumbers arrive with fully stocked trucks and can resolve your plumbing problems in a timely manner. Since 1988, Stan's Plumbing has held itself to a higher standard in plumbing. Call 405-721-5100 to schedule your appointment. Stan's Plumbing, Valley Service in a dirty business. 405-721-5100. When technology has you screaming at the office, call Simplify Tech Solutions at 405-981-1011. Located at 4221 North MacArthur Boulevard, Simplify Tech Solutions features IT management, business phone systems, manages Wi-Fi, and offers repair and support. Simplify your Wi-Fi before the emotional breakdown by calling Simplify Tech Solutions. Locally owned and operated at 405-981-1011. 405-981-1011. Simplify Tech Solutions.
Ship it sooner at 210 North Mustang Mall Terrace is your packaging and shipping headquarters for Mustang and the surrounding area, using all major carriers. Sign up now for your private mailbox and enjoy the benefits a post office box does not offer. Faxing, printing, copies, notary service, and passport photos. Ship It Sooner is locally owned and operated. Call 405-256-6264 or go to shipitsooner.com.
Name brands and more for less at Victory Mattress Outlet. Welcome to Victory Mattress Outlet, 7101 Northwest Expressway in Oklahoma City. Family-owned and operated Victory Mattress Outlet has options for every budget, like quality 10-inch beds to high-end luxury mattresses fit for a king. You're the winner here. Shop pillows, protectors, bedroom sets, and more. And remember, the friendly people at Victory Mattress Outlet can help deliver, assemble, and set up your mattresses and furniture. Call 405-510-6988 and never pay retail price for top brands again. Victory Mattress Outlet, 7101 Northwest Expressway, 405-510-6988. That's 405-510-6988. Victory Mattress Outlet, where your best night's sleep costs less. And we return now for the final segment of our show, just past 7:17 p.m., so we are making great time here on the Bethany Coaches Show. It was a little bit more of a coaches show in the first half. Now it's a little bit less of a coaches show, but we're still having a lot of fun out here. Hey, Luke Young joined by the one, the only. Introduce yourself.
Blake Vance.
Perfect. No breaks in between right there. That's just pure charisma and natural talent.
Something like that.
Right there on that dynamic. Blake, thanks for doing this stuff. That's actually how I introduce a lot of our guests.
Yeah.
Is I think it helps, especially on audio only, to hear the voice say their name, if that makes sense.
Right.
I don't know. That's never been proven as far as I know, but that's what I think anyways.
It's a study I made up. It's okay.
Yeah. I've got my sources. I made it up. So we're at Victory Mattress Outlet, name brands and more for less. Victory Mattress Outlet, 7101 Northwest Expressway, Suite 610, 405-510-6988. They've got a bunch of business cards you can take and give out. Remember, they're realtors too. Pillows and protectors and mattresses, obviously. They're the place to go. Taco Bueno right across the road supplied the food. They do everything from actual tacos and burritos to now desserts, and I think they have a few extra items on the menu as well. Try out the cheesecake chimneys. That's something that's been on my mind, a big dessert thing they have.
Well, I wasn't hungry, then you said that.
I'm telling you, it gets you quick. Taco Bueno right across the road again, 7104 Northwest Expressway. A great restaurant with new management that you're going to want to check out. Mr. Jermaine Franklin is the one that helps us out. He's the best. Now, on this segment, it's time to preview what's going on tomorrow. So, the Bethany guys have made it to state, and they are playing at 9 p.m. tomorrow against the number 1 overall team, the Douglas Trojans.
Ooh.
It's going to be a tough one, but before we really dig into the specifics, we've got a couple interviews we want to play where we'll catch some thoughts from the players after their big win at the Area Constellation Championship. Looks like first up we're going to go with Jagger Weaver's interview, our Blake Nightingale player of the game from Saturday. Let's go to it now.
I'm here with our Blake Nightingale State Farm player of the game, Jagger Weaver. Jagger, intense game. But before we maybe get into the nitty-gritty details of the game, I saw some water bottle grabbing. I saw some running to the locker room. Was there a celebration in the locker room after the game?
Yes, sir. Big celebration. Coach slipped pretty fast, so it was a lot of water on him. He's probably still wet. But
So y'all just doused him. Is that what happened?
yes, sir.
Did he hit the ground?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was pretty fast.
Hey, speaking of hitting the ground, one of the reasons you are a player of the game, your hustle was fantastic tonight. You made so many winning plays. Wasn't always about scoring, but boy, diving into the court to save a possession or running back on defense to make a layup difficult to a miss. What brought that energy and effort tonight for you personally?
Ever since last year, me and my group of guys, we've been wanting to make it to state. You know, last person in the last big house, first person in the new one. So it's just been a goal of ours, and there's just one person standing in our way.
That's right. Last year, all these starters graduate. You didn't really get to play at the varsity level. You were killing it on the JV, but now as a starter, making it to state, how do you feel right now, knowing you have a chance to chase that gold ball?
Words can't really describe it. I mean, I'm just with my guys. This is what we've been working on all season. This was one of our big goals that we've been talking about, throughout practices and stuff. So it just means a lot, especially to do it with them.
You did it. Congratulations. Thank you for joining us.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
it.
Thank
Jagger
you.
Weaver, player of the game.
So even right there in Jagger's interview, the thing he points out is he's doing it with the guys. He's doing it with the team, with his buddies. That's what means the most to him. And Coach Taylor echoed that on the women's side. What was most important for them was the time they spent with each other.
Oh, of course.
I mean, what do you think it is that makes that so important to athletes taking the floor, taking the field?
Well, I mean, generally, if you like each other off the court, you're going to like each other on the court.
That's the idea.
Usually.
Yeah.
So, I remember, probably I couldn't tell you a whole lot about the games I played, but the bus rides were the most fun we ever had. So, I mean, I was, a little 4 foot nothing, maybe 50 pounds soaking wet during those times, but I felt like I was a part of everybody. Like everybody was always bigger than me, so they all kind of ingratiated me whenever I was playing. But yeah, if they mess with each other off the court, they're gonna love each other on the court. So that's really what it comes down to.
Right, and one guy that is literally bigger than everybody, taller than everybody by a good little bit, is Rhett Brobson, who we caught for a second interview. Let's go ahead and kick it to that one now. Hey, I'm here with the one, the only, Rhett Brobson, following the Area Constellation Championship victory. Rhett, you've got the plaque. Show it off to the camera a little bit, man. Show that thing off. Come on. How does it feel to hold that?
It feels awesome. Did it as a team. Good team win. But we're not done. We still got more, and we're excited for that.
Is that you right there shooting that jump shot from 3 tonight? What was it, 4 or 5?
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Dude, what was going right for you today on that three-point shot?
I was just chilling in the corner. My teammates were driving and kicking in front of me, and I was able to knock it down.
You did it as a team. Every player that touched the floor had points tonight. Tell me about the game plan that Holiday drew up for you.
Just attacking the rim hard, driving and kicking, finding the open guys, and it worked, and we were able to get it done.
Listen to the cheer of that crowd out there. What's it mean to you to have so many people here supporting?
It's awesome. Just to hear them cheer, I mean, anytime something good happens, it's awesome, and we know they've got our back, and it's great.
So you're going to state. How is the team going to prepare for that one?
A lot of preparation. We don't know who to play yet, but we'll scout them and prep hard for them.
Right. Go all out in practices. I got you.
Yep.
Hey, man, you have a safe trip back. Thank you for doing this interview. One last question. We got people watching this at home that couldn't make it. You got any words for them?
Go Broncos.
Go Broncos. Go Broncos, baby. Yes, sir.
There we go.
They go to state tomorrow night again. It's Douglas at 9 p.m. at the OG&E Coliseum, the brand new one.
There we go.
Yeah, right at the fairgrounds. Hey, those two guys, Weaver and Brobson, had such a big impact in that last game.
They really did.
They played Oklahoma Christian School, the Saints, and man. So OCS was the team that first sent us to the losers round, all the way back in district. They got the better of us. They were ranked number 14 in the class. We were number 11, so it was an upset. We go through the entire thing, taking down good team after good team after good team, and the storyline writes itself. It all comes to a head in the area consolation championship against the team that knocked them out, and the guys stepped up. I mean, can you believe you couldn't write anything better than that? You've got the stat sheets actually in front of you.
Yes,
Flip
sir.
to that OCS game real quick, and tell us what the guys were looking at.
Let's see. Well, I mean, obviously they kept finding Rhett Brobson in the
no
corner.
kidding.
4 or 5 is not easy to do at any stretch at all in any game. I don't care if you're middle school, if you're pro. 4 or 5 is very hard to do. That's 80%.
Yeah,
it's nuts, and what really stands out to me through the whole thing is the assist numbers. Like, I love the ball movement, and anytime you have a chance to drive and kick it out to a wide open shooter, then you might as well if they're hot.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said about that drive and kick offense that was working. Yeah, it freed up Brobson. By the way, all 4 of those shots were made from the same spot in the left corner with no one around.
Yeah.
And he just knocks them down, ice in his veins, no trouble at all.
Let it fly if you got it.
Hot hand, man. You got to feed it. And you can credit a lot of that success, of course, to their coach. First time as a head coach with the Bethany Broncos, Josh Holliday, he also won, or was honored with the 2026 Class 4A Boys State Tournament All-Coaches Squad. So we got to say a big congratulations to Coach Josh Holliday. I wish he could have been here tonight, but I'll have to wish him that one myself later on. He joins an elite group with coaches from everywhere, from Blanchard to Mount St. Mary to, I believe, North Rock Creek, and a few others, including, obviously, us. And I think Catoosa's up there, Cassia Hall, the number 2 overall team. So he's in an elite group with those guys, and the stat line speaks to itself.
It does.
We've got just a few more minutes left, so let's talk about this Douglas matchup. Douglas has been the consensus number 1 team all year long. No one, I think, has really contested them for that spot, and it's kind of a tough draw for the Bethany Broncos.
Definitely.
I mean, this is a team playing its best basketball at the right time, but against Douglas, who's a 17-6 team, right at the very top all the way through, I mean, do you think it'll be enough? How are they going to have to approach this?
Well, it's going to help a lot if old Rhett Brobson can go 4 or 5 from 3 again. And Brady just huge and grabs everything under the boards and, kicks it to everybody. I love his assist numbers. If they can keep that ball moving, then they got a pretty good shot.
Yeah, Breck, man, we've talked in length about Breck Brady this season. The dude's only a sophomore. He's still an underclassman, and he's heads taller than some other players on the floor, bringing down one-handed rebounds. It's nuts. He also had I believe a 10 rebounds night against OCS as well.
It looks like 10 and 10.
Yeah, nuts. It's crazy the way he plays, and yeah, they're going to need him on that one. But Douglas knows that as well.
They do.
You can assume that they're going to apply pressure in a lot of bodies to Breck Brady down low. So when that happens, what is the next step? Is it trying to find that open man once the defense collapses? Do you think?
Oh, you have to, yeah. My dad always taught me if there's 2 on you, somebody's open. So it just if he's got 2-3 bodies on him, kick it out to Rhett or somebody else. Go 4 or 5. That'll help a lot, and just him anchoring the paint should kind of help ease things just a little bit. So grab as many boards as you can and kick it out to some shooters or put it up.
There you go. It's all about the rebounding game. You know it.
No rebounds, no rings, as they say.
I like that. But, yeah, there's some killers. Malachi Chapman, Seth Griner. Obviously, we talked about Brobson, but even Denton and Weaver can knock down some shots.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very, very, very well. So I'm very excited for this game tomorrow night. We've got the audio broadcast, the radio version, on thegospelstation.com Sports and Talk, and on YouTube, GSN Sports and Talk. We invite you to tune into it. It'll be John and I on the call once again for the final bracket of the 2026 season, which feels weird to say, but it's here.
It sneaks up on you.
It really does. Well, Blake, thank you for doing this final 30 minutes with me. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, it was. I appreciate it.
Now, we'll see you at Wednesday for baseball.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes,
I'll be
sir.
there.
And to everybody that has been watching the show, we want to thank you so much for your support. You guys watching and commenting and sharing really shows not just us, but the teams and the players how much you like watching them out there, how much you support what they're doing. And trust me when I say they notice. They notice all the support. But we're done here. We're wrapping up. Victory Mattress Outlet again, our host for tonight, 7101 Northwest Expressway in Suite 610. Call 405-510-6988. They're open 11 to 6 Monday through Saturday and 12 to 5 on Sunday. Like I say, we keep them late all the time. So we thank them for letting us come by. And Taco Bueno, of course, right across the road, supplied the food for tonight. 7104 Northwest Expressway. Jermaine, the new manager over there, has really set them on the right track. They've got great food and a great, clean restaurant with some great people around. So we're done here. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your night. And from Luke Young, actually, Blake, is there anything else you want to say real quick?
I think we've just about covered it.
All right, we covered
appreciate
it.
y'all.
Luke Young, Blake Vance, we're signing off. Have a great night. God bless.